failure if you see it as a failure. How do you grow as a human being? You fail. A great investor will tell you there are no returns if you take no risks. And Michael Dell said it well. He said, fail faster. So I think failure has a bad reputation. There is no way you can be better in sports, in entrepreneurship, in leadership, until you take the risks but fail. Well, August 1st, 1976, on the second turn of the German Grand Prix, Niki Lauda hit a wall at extremely high speeds. He was trapped in his F1 racing car for almost 60 seconds. The heat was almost 450 degrees. A witness who watched it reported that when he was taken out of the racing car by his fellow drivers, who were so brave to try to pull him out, while they pulled him out, one onlooker said, things were so bad. It looked like Niki Lauda's face was melting off his head. They took him by helicopter to a nearby hospital. When he showed up at the hospital, the doctors saw his condition and they called the priests to administer last rites. Niki Lauda himself said, I knew things were bad because my wife walked into the hospital room, looked at my face, and she fainted. Niki Lauda himself, he said, I felt like I wanted to go to sleep. But I knew that if I went to sleep, I would not get up again. Now here's the context, ladies and gentlemen. At the time this crash happened, Niki Lauda was in a points battle with the British race car driver, who? James Hunt. So, victims are frightened by change, leaders are inspired by change. And so what he did was he realized that every moment he was in this hospital bed, he would be losing points. And so get this, 6 weeks later, only 6 weeks later, absolutely terrified to get back into his car, he had a custom helmet designed, and with bloody bandages over his head, put the helmet on his head, got into the F1 car, raced in the Italian Grand Prix in Monza, and came in fourth. And what I'm suggesting to you is, what is your level of willingness to deal with failure? My life changed when I stood in Nelson Mandela's prison cell a number of years ago. And what did I learn? I learned that he was on Robben Island for 18 years of his 27 years of confinement. I talked to someone who knew Nelson Mandela very well. And you know what she told me? She said, Nelson Mandela was not Nelson Mandela when he first went into prison. He became this giant of leadership, dignity, grace, and humanity because of Robben Island. It was the 18 years on Robben Island where he was praying, forgiving, reading, journaling, turning his pain into strength, which allowed him to emerge from Robben Island as Nelson Mandela. And I'm sure you know this because you're smart and clearly good looking. When Nelson Mandela became the president of South Africa, he actually invited the jailers who kept him in prison to his inauguration. And the gentleman who wanted the death penalty for him, he invited him to dinner. And people asked, why? And he said, because if I didn't do that, I would still